Hello, my lovelies, and welcome to this week's podcast. I hope you've had an amazing week and you've been finding things to laugh about and improve your sparkle and anything that makes you feel good. So, this week's episode concentrates on yoga and debunking some of the myths about yoga with a guest speaker, Sarsha. I wanted to ask her a few questions about yoga because I've had some bad experiences with yoga, and yoga's quite trendy on social media, and I wanted to ask her some of the things I've seen. Does yoga really help improve your saggy boobs, for example? And does face yoga really work? So without further ado, I want to introduce you to Sarsha. Hi, Sarsha. Will you do me a favour and introduce yourself? Obviously, I know a bit about you because you're next door to me in the salon, but can you tell me a bit about your journey into yoga and why you became an instructor, my lovely?
Hi, I'm Sarsha. Do you want who I am now, before the journey?
Do you know what? Tell us whatever you feel comfortable telling us. Obviously, I've been invited you here today because I want people to know the benefits of yoga, why we should do yoga, especially for people like myself, 45, and then lots of my clients and listeners are 45, 50s and 60s. So just more about you, why you do yoga, the benefits, and how you end up being a yoga instructor.
Well, I'm a mum. I've got 2 kids, 12 and 14.
Not often seen in the playground.
Yeah. I'm a wife. I've got a horse. I do all normal everyday things, but
Spin plates.
yeah. But I always say that yoga chose me,
Right?
because I used to work in a factory. I used to make men's knickers,
Love it.
men's underwear, and it gave me a bad back.
Right.
It really knocked my physical health so much. I had 6 months off work with a bad back. And through the journey of physio and everything else, I was advised to do yoga. So on the journey to find a yoga teacher, and in Gainsborough at the time, that just was not happening because this was early 90s.
Quite a long time ago.
So yeah, a long time ago.
I'm showing your age for it there. So
I collected it all, but yeah, I'll try and get it on. So I went out to find a yoga instructor, and luckily one turned up at the leisure centre.
Oh, fab.
Within a few weeks of me kind of going, I'm going to go.
You must have manifested it.
So yeah, it turned up, and that's what I say, it chose me because I was advised to do it, and it turned up.
So back then, obviously in the 90s, I'm sorry if it's politically not correct, but was it seen as being really hippified yoga back then, or?
Yes, it was. It was much more of this hippie.
Yeah.
Or I perceived it of that, and it just seemed like that. I don't know if it's stepping into the industry where you start to see it a bit different.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did the yoga, and it helped.
Yeah.
A lot with the back, but it became a bit of an obsession for me because I wanted to know more all of the time. So I bought all the books, I did all the reading constantly. Even asking the instructor at the time lots and lots of questions, staying after class.
I'm doing a wedding.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was just. I don't know what happened to me when I stepped into the yoga. I couldn't do it. I was dreadful. I was absolutely dreadful.
I'm dreadful at it.
I could not do it, but there was something about it that held. That I knew I had to do it.
It was like a calling.
Yeah. And that's, I spent, I can't remember, 8-9 years going to yoga and doing a lot of yoga at home. And I also spinning and lots of other stuff as well. But coming into teaching yoga, I used to go to a small independent health fitness studio in town, and they lost their yoga instructor. And my friend who taught spin said to me, I did yoga, and he says, you should teach that class. I'm unqualified.
Throwing you at the deep end.
Yeah, and I was like, well, I don't think I can. And he said to me, yes, you can. He goes, because you're always talking it. And he says, you know more than most people know about yoga. He says, just get in there and have a go. He says, I'll have a word with the lady that owns the place, and the next week I'll talk again. And he had said to me, he says, do it once.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, he says, we'll never speak about it again. But I did it once.
I got into teaching very, very similar. I ended up teaching a course. I was managing a big, massive training academy, read all the training manuals, obsessed with permanent makeup, obsessed with helping the students. And one of the trainers was off sick with chicken pox. So I was literally the same some of the other trainers were all really, really busy. And they're all busy and they're like, Jody, you need to go take this class just quickly. It's only theory, don't worry, you know it off by heart. Just read from the PowerPoint and you'll be fine. And I'll keep popping in to make sure that you're okay. So I know exactly that feeling. But once you did it, did you get the bug? Because I literally got the bug.
Yeah, that first class. Yeah, everybody in the class knew I wasn't pulling. Yes, I've been in the class with them the week before.
Yeah.
And they all accepted and they all went, oh yeah, do it. And it was like, when I walked out, it's like, I know I'm supposed to do this.
And you're the same as me. I know you've done loads of teaching courses and I see it all the time that you're always learning. What specifically do you like? Because am I right in thinking there's loads of different types of yoga? Is there anything that draws you to... I'm joking when it's someone here and we go about like hot yoga because there's no one's really hot. And I'm like, oh, it'd be okay yoga next door if you're doing your hot yoga or your sound baths or whatever you're doing. Is there anything that you specifically really enjoy?
For me, it's just the movement, to move.
Yeah.
And to move and to float, but in a way that feels right for my body.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's my yoga is kind of developed. And I don't know, it sounds a bit ego. It's like my yoga.
Yeah.
I don't follow any particular house of yoga.
Right.
But I have taken trainings in several different ones and I take bits that I like and that work for me. Yeah. So the yoga is evolving. My yoga, I hope, is for everybody.
Yeah.
And saying that, now that's one of those things. Yoga is for everybody.
Yeah.
Not every teacher is for everybody.
Yeah.
But I try to be as inclusive as possible.
Yeah.
Where I've learned how to layer the poses rather than go, we're going to do this pose. And we build it in layers so that you can be wherever you want to be in that pose.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I say that, I kind of mean that it's not, we have to do these advanced poses. We're going to move in this particular way. Or it's, how does it feel in your body? How do you feel about the yoga? And in that, it teaches you to go anyway. And that's what I like for myself.
Yeah.
That thing where I can go in and go, does that feel right for my body today? No. So I maybe leave it out today. Or I might do a mobilization and go, oh, it's freed it up.
Yeah.
But hopefully when I teach people, I teach them that as well.
Yeah.
That when they move, they can go, that's not feeling good today.
Yeah. That's what I've experienced with yoga. I've only done before, obviously, I moved to the salon here, and before I knew you, I've only done a few yoga classes, and I always see your students, and they always have a smile, and I was like, oh, I want to get 5 minutes, but every time you've got a class on, I'm always busy. There's no excuse, I'm just going to have to come and do some one-on-ones. But that's the thing, people get scared. They have a bad experience with the yoga class, and they start going, right, downward dog, and you're like, what the freaking hell's a downward dog? I've heard of it in some, but you just don't know what they are, and you feel stupid to ask, and you put your body into a position and like, that hurts, is that right? And it can put you off a little bit.
I try to layer in. And I have space in the class. People often ask, oh, I'm feeling it here, should I? And it's like, you might feel it there. Is it painful? And if they go, no, well, just explore that.
Yeah.
That sensation. And then I'll explain the pose maybe more. And they'll go, oh yeah, if I do this, now I can feel it where you said.
Yeah.
But it's sometimes we've really got to go into ourselves in the practice.
Yeah.
I'm not saying all classes, but some that can get a little bit where it's this pose, that pose.
And that's all I know of yoga.
Yeah, and there isn't always that space.
Yeah.
But I try and make it the yoga that I want it.
Yeah. So someone like me and most of my clients on my listeners are obviously in the 40s and 50s. Is it too late for us to start? Because obviously we've talked off speaker, but obviously we'll talk about it in a bit. That obviously you've gone through menopause. I'm going through perimenopause. Definitely, I think I'm starting to get menopausal. But the yoga, will it help someone like me, whether it's calming me down with all of a sudden with the perimenopause, I feel anxious at times, I get stressed out, I get mood swings, I get mardy, I'm a cowbag, I call myself a 10 and a 2, but do you know when you're just like, is it too late for me to start stretching my body into weird and wonderful shapes for health-wise and also for the menopause, perimenopause or whatever stage you're at, will it help? It's what I'm basically asking.
It's never too late.
Cool.
Never, ever too late. Very
Well, it calms. Does it calm you? So I'm guessing you've got, obviously, because I've seen clients in the similar age to me, your customers. Do they feel like when they go in, if they're stressed out, they've had a really, really bad day, does it actually chill them out a little bit?
Yeah. I have people that come and at the beginning of class, everybody comes in and everybody will be chatting.
Yeah.
Maybe here at times.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's a bit of a debunk.
Yeah.
Somebody's come in, they've brought stress. Yeah, they've brought something.
Baggage from the
They've got to voice. And we'll sit and we'll chat.
Yeah.
And some people go, oh, yeah, I feel that too. Or, no, have you tried this? And it's a collective thing. Yeah, it's a community where we all care about each other. So that might be the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So
I love that you've not just literally just get into like straight doing a pose and started being zen. Being zen, I'm not zen. I've literally just fought to get into a parking space, and I've just had to deal with my little boy. You do come into an environment stress. That's really good to know that you actually take 5 minutes to go. Let's actually take the crap from the day, and let's have 5 minutes.
Yeah. So we kind of everybody gets rid of.
Yeah.
We get rid of that, and then we go down like settle into practice. You know, so it gives people that space to kind of, all those things are all right. It's life and it happens.
Yeah.
But it happens to all of us. And I think that's the thing, when you come into collective, you might think this, oh, it's only me. And you say it, and so everyone else thinks, oh, yeah, just the same for me today.
Yeah.
We're all the same. And then we start at that base level.
Yeah.
That, yes, it happens to us all. And we settle into the class. And I try to teach in a way that helps to bring the nervous system down into that rest and digest.
Yeah.
You know, where we can really let go of what was out there. The thing is, you might have to pick it up again, but just by the time when you're in that space, you can kind of go, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be here in this space if that really mattered. Yeah, I'd be dealing with it.
Yeah.
You know, so you can kind of go, let that go.
Do you mind me asking then, obviously, like mental health side, obviously, whether you're menopause and you're perimenopausal, and you get forgetful, don't you? And you get stressed and everything. I'm guessing, have you got some experiences with some of your customers or yourself where like you've literally felt overwhelmed, or your customers have, and they've just gone, do you know what, if it wasn't for yoga or whatever?
I find, for me personally, I think yoga's been my saving grace.
Keeping things down.
Yeah, through perimenopause and menopause. Perimenopause was more in lockdown, so it was kind of up in the air and life just wasn't as it should be. But I do find having this constant practice, and teaching is a big thing as well. And I do have ladies that come that are perimenopause, menopausal, postmenopausal, and they do say how just that headspace.
It's the headspace that you need.
And also, sometimes we talk about menopause. Yeah, you know, I do have men come to classes.
Yeah.
And the thing is, even sometimes when the men are at the beginning, women will just start talking menopause, and they're a bit like, kind of, how do I fit it? But they do. Men fit into that as well, because they're affected by our symptoms and our weaknesses. Yoga does help, because it does help to calm me down.
Yeah.
But we also have to remember that perimenopause, sometimes we do the onward support.
Yeah, meditation.
Yeah, because yoga is not this cure-all.
Yeah.
You know, like some people say, oh yeah, we'll do yoga and this will be better and that.
Yeah.
It will be better, but it will not cure anything.
Yeah. Can I ask some questions? Obviously, with the world of Instagram and social media and Facebook and everywhere, you get loads of different trends, don't you, with things? So it's really trendy to follow yoga exercises because it'll solve everything apart from world peace. So you always see things and you get gimmicky things like, oh, can yoga like help with your sagging boobs, and can yoga help with face stretches and lifting your face? Obviously, I know you're not gimmicky and you're more about grounding people and making people better versions of themselves. But is there any hints and tips or anything out there for somebody who's just thinking, oh, my face just doesn't feel as fresh and as bouncy, or my boobs don't feel as fresh and bouncy? Are they all just gimmicks, or is there a little bit of truth in these posts that you see about yoga and lifting your boobs?
The thing is with the boob thing, yoga is in asana, in the practice, the movement practice, it's exercise. So if we exercise, we're more toned, therefore the body will be more toned. So sagging boobs, it's not going to stop it completely, but it will help to slow it down a little bit. And also yoga will make you feel happier about you, and more accepted of you.
Would you say that's the main premise of yoga for you, making you accept who you are at that moment in time?
Yeah. Coming into that acceptance of self, and also taking a long, hard look at yourself. Yoga gives you that space to reflect inward.
But we're in a busy world.
Yeah.
There's that time to reflect.
Yeah. And to kind of see who you are. Yeah. And sometimes you might not like it, but you know you can work on it.
Yeah.
It's that thing of understanding who you are and knowing it's okay to be who you are and still want to change.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, you're okay with being who you are.
Yeah.
And it's okay to kind of go, but I didn't want to make these changes. And yoga has given me the headspace to kind of go, I don't like this way that I'm going or this way that I'm thinking. I need to do something about it.
So for someone like me who's very, very new with like yoga, and I avoid it like the plague because it hurts me and stretching and everything. So I actually didn't ever see it as a form of exercise. So you really saying about the exercise. So obviously you can't just instantly fix anything like that. But do you find that people, when they come to you with what I say, for example, me, I'll use me as an example, I feel like I've definitely got that perimenopausal jelly belly, tops of my thighs are jelly. So yoga actually, because it's exercise, will tone you up.
Yeah.
I know it sounds really dumb, and probably I should actually know that, but lots of people don't think it. You just think of it as, and being truthful, I do the poses, they hurt me, but then sometimes I see yoga, especially when I'm on holiday, and it's all about trying to cross your legs into a position that I didn't even think I could do when I was 7-year-old at school, with like your fingers going hum and namaste and all that sort of thing. So you don't have to necessarily get into yoga for the meditation side. It is obviously a form of exercise, and it's seen as a form of exercise.
Yeah. So it is a form of exercise, but it's done at a pace where we can work in and not out.
Right.
You know, it's not like we're going to go to the gym and lift weights, and it's not about getting ripped. You know, it's getting shredded. We probably won't get as toned, and it'll depend how much you practice.
Yeah.
You practice every day and you had quite an intense practice, obviously you're going to get more tone.
Yeah.
If you do a gentle yoga, less tone.
Yeah.
It's not going to cure all of the wobbly bits, but it is definitely going to tone. You'll be more toned if you have a yoga practice than if you don't.
Am I right in thinking for my podcast listeners and my clients that they can go onto your Instagram page and you just do a little video of just a few little tips on, you've seen them all where they're doing different movements, I can't remember there's all sorts of like tapping movements and then stretching movements and lifting movements and things like that. So I know you've got one on your Instagram page coming. So are they okay to go and have a nose at that?
Yeah.
Like you said, if you don't do things all the time, it's not going to work. But if we've got like a bit of a step-by-step where we can actually start on something, obviously I'm not going to do an Instagram on lifting your boobs and things like that.
Yeah, thinking more face yoga.
Yeah, face.
Yeah, because we didn't get to that. Yeah, that was a question. Yeah, the thing is with face yoga, it's very occasionally I might put a little bit into a class. Yeah, sometimes we'll kind of go in that where we can sweep under the chair in an upward motion and always sweeping upward on the face. Yeah, and with motion. But that tends to be something I do that more when I'm putting moisturisers on, and I make that part of kind of my daily routine.
Oh, that's really good to know. So well, watch out then for a post of you in your bathroom mirror putting your moisturiser on, and we're like that. That's what she's on about with the face yoga. Yeah. So face yoga is something that we can put as part of our beauty routine. It's not just a gimmick on Instagram. So
no, and for me, it's something more that I kind of do in my daily routine rather than something that I put a lot of in class. Yeah, so I'll put something on social media so people can see what I do. And the thing is with yoga, it isn't always class-based. Yeah. It's the things that we take away from a class and that we do in day-to-day life.
Have you got any examples of that putting you on the spot? Like, but obviously you mentioned about stress levels and things.
The thing is, at the end of all my classes, we do a relaxation. And this is, we lay down or you can sit. You can be in any position that you're comfortable in. And we allow ourselves to settle into the breath. And sometimes I'll do guided meditation. Sometimes I'll set people into the breath and just leave them. And now this is a space where we can really go inward and reflect and go to the breath and the rhythm. But it brings us back to self. And often at the end of these, when we're starting to get ready for leave, I'll say, sometimes all we have to do is sit down and take 10 breaths and be in the breath. To not be taking the breath, but thinking, well, I've got to be doing this, and I need to be in the breath, to feel the breath as it comes into the body, the impact that it has, and as it leaves. Yeah. So where you can feel the body just.
Yeah, I do practice that, but I tell you something that I get struggling on, and you might be able to help me. So you'll do your being present and taking nice deep breaths. And I've learned to have to ignore that people say breathing through your nose and push your belly out, or breathing through your mouth and push your belly. I don't actually know which way around it's meant to be. And that used to actually stress me out. So now I just go, do you know what? I'll breathe how I need to breathe. I know you're really meant to breathe a certain way, but actually it used to stress me out trying to breathe a certain way that's meant to be really, really good. But if I just take a moment and just chill and relax and breathe how my body naturally wants me to breathe, I feel that works better for me than, well, you've got to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, and then you've got to push your belly out at this point. And I'm like, I actually haven't relaxed because I was too busy trying to work out if my belly was being pushed out or in.
Yeah.
Would you say that's okay? Or
The thing I would say with breathing, if you're going to use it in the day, you just need like 10 breaths out, nose breathe. Don't worry about the rest.
Don't worry about the rest. So breathe in through your nose.
In and out through your nose.
Yeah, so just try and breathe in and out through your nose and forget about what your belly is doing and everything.
And if you can't breathe through your nose, just breathe however.
Yeah.
Whatever comes to you that day.
Yeah.
The aim is we should nose breathe.
Yeah.
That's what the nose is designed for. The mouth is back up.
Right. Okay.
So we should breathe through the nose. Breathe it out through the mouth. It can have effects where it helps to calm us, but breathing through the nose is really important.
Right.
For me, when I kind of learned about all the nose breathing and stuff, it's mind-blowing the difference it can make.
Right.
It can help support the immune system. There's just the endless list of we should nose breathe.
So taking away from today then, thank you. So we literally can just take some moments in our time to be present. Don't stress about if you're breathing through your mouth or in through your nose and out. Just try and breathe as much as you possibly can and relax and be present. If you can breathe through your nose, brilliant. But throughout the day, if you're feeling overstressed or even like anxious or anything like that, feeling anxious.
One thing I would say with the breath, if you can slow the exhale down a little,
Right.
just a little.
Just a little.
So it just takes a little bit longer to exhale than it does inhale.
So actually consciously think about when you're breathing out and sort of just try it.
Nice and steady, but not like you're pushing extra air. And you just slow it, the natural breath.
Yeah.
So it leaves the body slower.
And yoga for everybody, doesn't matter what's going on in your life, just try and find a really good if you're looking for a yoga specialist, because obviously lots of listeners are not local to our area, where obviously Gainsborough, Lincolnshire, but if you're looking for a yoga specialist and you've got no idea and you thought it was just for hippies and you were going to sit with your legs crossed and put yourself in these weird and wonderful downward dog positions, but now you're thinking, oh, do you know what, I do actually want to give it a try, what should they look for? Like different classes? What would you look for? Just beginner's class?
If you can, either email or speak to the instructor.
Yeah.
I mean, I usually take email because I'm busy and answering the phone's not always an option. So I usually do a lot through email. I'll kind of ask people what they want from yoga.
Yeah.
So email or speak to the yoga teacher.
Yeah.
And they'll be able to tell you a lot about what their class is like.
Yeah.
And then you can usually be able to tell just by being somebody, is that for me or not?
Yeah.
But don't just ring one teacher and go, no, it's not for me.
Yeah.
You know, you might have to ring several and go, yeah, I think that's the one.
Is it more about gelling with the instructor than necessarily, I guess, if they do all these fancy wording courses and stuff? Because you've got to bond with somebody, I
don't think it's gelling with the instructor. It's finding the yoga that works for you.
Right.
Because everybody teaches slightly differently. And some people teach several different classes. I mean, I teach different classes. I do the yoga movement, I do yin, and then I do a supple strength, which is yoga-based, but it's more strength-based.
Right.
Yin is floor-based, more stretchy. And yoga movement, I kind of call it body maintenance or supple health.
Right.
So it's about keeping the body supple. So yoga instructors often teach more than one type of class.
Yeah.
So it might be go and try one. Oh, I didn't really like that. Try a different one.
Yeah.
You know, it might be the same instructor but a different class.
Yeah.
Go try a different instructor. Just keep trying classes because there will be one that you find.
Yeah. Great. Okay. Thank you so much honestly, thank you for joining us. I really, really appreciate it. If anyone's got any questions, I'm sure you can message Sarsha direct. I'll pop her details in the link below. Thanks ever so much. I hope you have an amazing week, lovelies, and keep your sparkle.